Welcome to RHTV Interview Studio. My name is Sophia,
And my name's Mel.
and today we will sit with Mr. Kelaher. Mr. Kelaher is a teacher who is new to Richland, filling out Mrs. Connolly's shoes and making room 13 his own. Mr. Kelaher, thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
So, Mr. Kelaher, Condors have been able to learn a little about you in the half quarter that you've been here. You're from New York, and you went to college initially in New York?
I graduated from college in New York, yes,
What college?
at Hofstra University.
Oh, okay. Did you study anything in specific?
Yes, I studied history and international business.
What did you study, and do you have any advice for tips for Condors regarding going to further education?
I don't have any tips for what to study if they do go on to further education, but I can say that whether it's high school or college, life is just a whole bunch of hurdles. And if you want to get to a future that you want, you may have to go over hurdles of whatever capacity. So in my profession, obviously I did history and international business, and then it required a master's degree and more and more and more. But through some hard work, you get to be where you want to be.
Growing up in New York is probably much more different than growing up here. What do you think is like the biggest difference in growing up here than New York?
I will say that I grew up in New York, like I said, for 25 years before venturing out west. Both states are very good. I do miss a lot of what New York was about, but California has its overwhelming amount of perks. The weather, I've become quite a weather snob lately. I miss bagels. I miss pizza. I miss delis. But the trade-off was this beautiful weather, legit Mexican food, and some weekend margaritas.
So, with that said, what do you prefer now?
Um, I prefer California now for sure. I think if I would have grown up here and went back to New York, I think I'd have the same opinion. I want to be in New York if I flipped it. Like I said, both coasts have perks. The big city is something that doesn't exist out here. Also, 75-degree weather year-round does not exist out there. So we are very fortunate to be where we are. Very nice.
What brought you to California? What kind of prospects did you think California had?
So what made me come to California is I mentioned the hurdles before, and one thing I never wanted to do was take out a loan to go to college. And Whittier College up in LA offered me a position to coach the lacrosse team, and they would pay for my graduate degree. And that was an opportunity that I could not pass up. Paired with that, my girlfriend at the time, now wife, she was living in New York and she was from California. So we thought it was a good time to venture westward to see if this would work out. And between obviously the future, my future wife, and now being a teacher, everything worked out pretty well.
What sports do you enjoy the most, and do you have any good stories from the times that you've?
In what ways does Richland differ from your previous school? And what do you consider your favorite difference? What does Richland offer that fulfills you professionally?
Richland, I will tell you right now, have a student body from all walks of life. And what I mean by that is everyone brings their own strengths to the classroom, which I have found immediately. I've been here for half a quarter, and every class and every student has their own personality. And as a teacher, it could be a little overwhelming, but that's also why we became teachers, because not everyone's the same. So one thing I like about Richland a lot is how everyone's their own person. I also am having a lot of fun improving my own Spanish. So now I am teaching students, and some students are teaching me, which is very rewarding.
A win-win.
It's a win-win.
What guides your morals in life and career?
What guides my morals in life and career? So religion, I'll say that. For a couple years, I went to a Jesuit university, and then at the end of the day, being a part of a team, you have a coach. You have to stay within guidelines, whether it's socially whether it's professionally, whether it's academically. So I think just being brought up in a world that you have to stay in between the lines, if you will, has guided me to years after college. So those values were instilled in me through teachers and coaches.
What impact do you hope to have on Richland and other students who take your class?
I hope to have the impact that that's a good question, Sophia. I hope to have an impact for students to be able to see how good or how fortunate they are. Everyone has crazy stories in life, whether you go to Richland, whether you go to El Medina, whether you go to Villa Park, whether you go to CDM, whether you go to Huntington Beach. Everyone's got stories. But at the end of the day, you guys are 15, 16, 17, 18 years old once, and this is just a hurdle. High school, that is. Just know that better days are always ahead. You just got to continue to work hard.
Any last words of advice for Condors?
Any last words? I would just say always work hard. The day you stop working at something is the day someone catches up to you or the day you fall by the wayside. So whether you are in history class or math class, or if you're on the handball court or you're shooting hoops, the day you stop working at a goal, someone's going to surpass you, and the chance of you getting back on that track is less. So just don't stop working at whatever goal you want.
Thank you for taking the time to come over to RHTV Interview Studio and for opening up to us and letting us know you more. We appreciate having you here at Richland, Mr. Kelaher.
Thank you so much.
Let's kick it back to the studio. Thank you, everyone.
Cut.